A very good afternoon and welcome to our session on the topic Lifestyle Factors and Reproductive Health. We are glad to have Dr. Swati Shree among us today to help us understand the topic and also the importance of each and every detail. The doctor will take us through that more in the session today. Stay tuned till the last of the session as the doctor will be answering questions and queries at the last of the session. So post it on the comment box and wait till the end. Now, doctor, you have the stage.
Okay, thank you. So, the topic for the discussion today is lifestyle factors and reproductive health. So, there are many things which affect our reproductive health, and some are modifiable and some are non modifiable. But lifestyle factors are basically the things which we choose for ourselves. So coming to like many people nowadays, the incidence of infertility is increasing a lot. More and more people are now coming to fertility centers to take the treatment. So there are multiple factors. Some are like some of the factors might be the disease, which is not modifiable, but there are the lifestyle which we can modify, which are our choices. So I'm going to speak about these. So it would be great if any questions are there so that I will be addressing all the questions if you have any. And now coming to the factors. So lifestyle factors it includes a wide variety of things actually. So it is like our diet, it is our nutrition, what exercise we do, and our social habits like smoking, alcohol, recreational drugs, and our weight, and many things are like what medicines we are taking. So these all come under lifestyle factors. So first of all, to understand how it affects fertility, first of all I would like to tell you about what is how the fertility is affected and how the natural pregnancy happens. So, in natural pregnancy, in a reproductive health or reproductive system of any females, there are two ovaries and a tube and two tubes and a uterus. So, ovaries, both side of the ovaries release at least one egg in each cycle, and that comes to the tube. And at the same time, if there is any intercourse, then sperm will swim up, meet the egg, and form the embryo, which comes down to implant in the uterus. So this is how pregnancy happens. So any of the factors, if any of these what is being there in the physiological pregnancy is affected, that affects the fertility. So now the whatever what we do in our life, like starting from the factors, I will first start with the factor like our diet and nutrition. So from the what that used to be earlier times, the diet and nutrition has changed a lot. There are lots of nutritional deficiency nowadays. So a proper diet plays a very important role. It affects not only female fertility, it affects male fertility also. So it has been found that the diet which is more high in proteins, especially animal proteins and fats, affect the sperm quality and also the sperm formation a lot. So it's generally said that if the male partner is taking the carbohydrate rich diet and they decrease the consumption of this high animal fats, the sperm quality improves and they have the effect on the fertility. And in the same way, the diet also affects the females. So it's generally two in general. I can say that if you are taking a diet which is rich in the vitamins, rich in the micronutrients, that affects the fertility and that improves the fertility in fact. So many a times if we see that if we are giving the woman some micronutrient supplements, they conceive immediately after that. So this shows, and there are studies which has proven the role of nutrition and diet, especially and rich in antioxidants, affects a lot in the male infertility. Like diet rich in vitamin C, they affect a lot. So I will advise to take plenty of fruits and plenty of sprouts. These diets are very rich in the micronutrients. So now coming to the next factor is like weight. So we all know about the body mass index or weight height ratio, which what we can say in general. So being a healthy weight or weight height ratio is like from 18.5 to 24.5. So if the weight height ratio or weight is less or underweight, that also affects the fertility. Or if there is weight height ratio is high, that is more, that or obesity is there, that also affects the fertility. First, we'll see how obesity or high weight height ratio affects the fertility. So coming to the weight height ratio or high weight height ratio, that is obesity, if we can see that they affect that imbalance the hormones in both males and females. So thus they decrease the quality of the sperms, and they also decrease the count of the sperms. So this way they affect the male fertility, and in females also there will be more of the male hormones, and there will be more of the hormonal imbalance in females in case of the if they in obesity, and this affects the ovulation. The ovulation is when the eggs are being formed, and the every month what eggs are formed and being released in the tubes. So that is affected. So if that is affected, that definitely will affect the fertility. So if there is more of the obesity, that is how it affects. And coming to underweight, if the woman is underweight, that also affects the hormones which are being secreted from the brain. So this if the hormones from the brain are being affected, this will also affect the fertility, because they will cause the hormonal imbalance which is required for a normal menstrual cycle. Because our menstrual cycle, the formation of the egg, the release of the eggs, all are dependent upon the hormones which are secreted from the brain. So this is how our weight affects our fertility. So these are the two factors which I have told till now. Now coming to the other factors like exercise. So we all know doing exercise is good for our health. We are healthy, we don't have much disease, it prevents us from the diabetes, it prevents us from the hypertension, it keeps our joints moving. So these are the benefits of exercise which we all know. But it also affects our reproductive health. Being an active life, having an active life gives us a more of the oxygen. We get a fresh oxygen that impacts our fertility also. So those who are having more of the sedentary lifestyle, they also tend to have more of the obesity. So these affects your fertility, because it will again cause your hormonal imbalance. And also doing regular exercise releases happy hormones from the brains, which can help, which makes the hormones for the menstruation also brings it in the regularity. So and but there are some side effects of the exercise, like over rigorous exercise is generally not considered to be good, because it has negative impact. So a moderate level of exercise is good for both male and female. So it improves the fertility. It has a good effect on your fertility. Now coming to the psychological effects, like we in this current world, with everyone being having some work, everyone is running behind something. So we already have a stressed life. Again, with infertility, the stress increases. So there can be either physical stress, mental stress. So there can be multiple types of stress everyone can be having. And again, with the infertility, the stress increases in between the couple. Also the stress increases. There is stress of the treatment, there is stress of the failures if there, and unfulfillment of the desires. These are the multiple stress, and stress forms a vicious cycle in the infertility. Like stress causes infertility because it affects the hormones, it increases the steroids in our body, which in other ways affects the hormones which are secreted from the brain, and which causes the eggs formation, egg release in females, and also sperm formation in the males. So this is how stress affects. Stress has a multiple role, and it has been found, if we provide proper counseling, if they are being given talking therapy to the women or men, and other couples are being counseled properly, or if they are involved in some support groups, the stress factor, if we control these, many a times this stress factor on if we control the stress factor, this infertility, most of the hormone imbalance can be balanced. So stress is one of the big factors which plays a role in infertility. So and now coming to social habits. So out of the social habits, there are multiple social habits people must be having, like smoking, alcohol, use of any recreational drugs. So coming to smoking, smoking has very adverse effects, especially in the male fertility, because it increases the reactive oxygen species. Basically these there are oxidative damage. So what happens when the sperms are being formed? If these are effects of smoking is high, then first of all the quantity of the sperms will be less. There will be sperm counts will be less. The sperms will be less motile. That means the ability of the sperms to move forwards inside the female tract will be less, and also the quality of the sperms also degrades. So this is the effect of smoking on the male infertility, and it has been found that once the male quits smoking, the fertility improves slowly and slowly. And coming to the smoking also has effects in the females, like it depletes your ovarian reserve. The egg reserve goes down prematurely. So what the reserve should be at a age of say 40 or 45, if there is smoking, the same stage is reached little early. So it's the premature ovarian reserve is being, or what we can say, or the capacity of the ovaries is dying or depleting prematurely. This happens if there is any smoking, especially prolonged smoking. And it has been found that if you control these are reversible factors which you can manage yourself in your life. Now, after that smoking, there are other habits like alcohol. So, alcohol being occasional doesn't have much effect, but if it is too much, excessive alcohol does have effect on both male and female infertility the same way, like they all have effect on the hormones. Now coming to recreational drugs like cocaine, tobacco, all these of these factors basically damage the sperm DNA. So sperms and eggs carry the genetic materials which when they are meet, the both the genetic materials combine to form the embryo. So these drugs also have effect on those things. So many a times, even if the woman conceives, this can increase the rate of miscarriage even. So coming to these, I have discussed these so far. So now another are like drugs. So drugs can be like some of the prescribed drugs. So prescribed drugs do have effect. Like just as like the disease like blood pressure, diabetes have effect. Some of the drugs which are prescribed do have effect on, like some of the drugs of the which are written for given for the treatment of high blood pressure, some of the for tablets or medicines for the mental health disorders. Some of the drugs do have effect. So if you are having any problem or health issues for which you are taking medicines and you are failing to conceive, you can consult back to your doctor so that the medicines can be changed to so much little different medicines which are more safe for you. So, and these are the drugs, and sometimes over the counter drugs. Like nowadays, people are becoming more and more health conscious. Many people take medicines to build their muscles. These medicines do build your muscles, do improve your exercise or athletic capacity. But these medicines many a times have steroids, and these steroids affect your by they interfere with the hormones which are being secreted from the brain, which are giving the message for the sperms or the testes or the ovaries to form the sperms or the eggs. So these hormones are being interfered. So when they are in being interfered, the some sperm formation or the ovary egg formation will not be proper. So this is how the over the counter drugs do affect. So if you are taking any over the counter drugs which you feel you might be having some steroids, please do inform your doctor whenever you are meeting your doctor. So, and this is a reversible factor, because once you stop these medicines, the effect of the medicine slowly goes down, it slowly weans off. So this is how these steroids or over the counter medicines can have effect on your fertility. And most of these factors I have told. Now some factors are left, like exposure to the environmental pollutants. So we know that we have lots of pollution. It's not the same world which used to be when our father or our grandparents used to be in the environment. The environment has totally changed. So more of the air pollutants do have effect. So we cannot avoid it as a whole, but some factors which we can avoid, we should bring about those changes in us, especially the in pesticides, chemicals, those, and the occupational exposure of the chemicals like lead exposure for the painters. These do have effect on the fertility. And also it has been found that the hot temperature, because for the formation of the sperms the little less temperature is required. So sperm formation happens at the less than the body temperature. So if there is if any male person is having using more of the hot bath or hot tubs, hot sauna, or working in an environment like mining, or working in any bakery. So these are the factors which can increase the environment. And also those who are using the laptop in over their lap, so these laptop also emits lots of hot air. So these all can have effect on the fertility, because they somehow affect your either the formation of the sperms, or either they affect the quality of the sperms, they affect the ability of the sperms to move up, or they affect the sperms form, like their morphology, how they are made or how they look. And also in the females there are effects on the formation of the eggs, or when the eggs to come out. So these are the some of the lifestyle factors which we can change and we can improve our reproductive health. So if there is any question, I would like to attend that question. Okay, so there is one question: how does stress affects fertility? So as I already told, stress has multiple effects. Like stress and fertility are connected by a vicious cycle. So stress causes infertility, infertility causes stress. So stress can be like physical, psychological, or mental. So whenever there is stress during stress, we are affecting our brain, we are affecting our body. The hormones from the brains, the steroids, these all increase in our body, which can cause which can cause the imbalance in the menstrual cycle hormones. So when the menstrual cycle hormones are imbalanced, then like in females it affects the ovulation, and in males it affects the sperm formation. So this is how stress affects, and it has been really found that if you can able to manage your stress by yoga, meditation, talking to the support group, people in support group, or talking therapy or counseling, these has improved the fertility in the couples with stress factors. So this was all about lifestyle factors which affect reproductive health. So these are the factors which we can change, which we can control, and definitely improve our reproductive health, definitely improve our fertility. So please follow these factors. Please do take care whatever what changes you can take. Do make a change and do feel a change in your life. Thank you.